Zubair Ahmed, who's been waiting very patiently. Me adds Zubair Ji. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum Assalam, Mufti. Can you hear me?
I can. Where are you joining us from, Zubair?
From your beloved country, Bahrain, Kingdom of Bahrain.
Of Bahrain.
Yes, yes.
Allah, Bahrain. Allah, Allah,
Yes.
Allah. Kya baat hai, Zubair Ji.
Actually, we have talked, few times on this Instagram. What your audio notes I shared with you sometimes.
Oh,
Maybe you recall
okay. Of
about
course.
different topics. And
Oh,
I
right.
followed.
Yes, your name on there is Zubair as well.
Yes, Zubair Ahmed. Yes.
Yes, of
I'm from
course. We've
basically
shared.
Pakistan. Yes, yes,
Yes. No, we've shared like several things. I've not seen you before. This is the first time I'm
yes,
seeing
yes, yes.
you.
Yes, yes. Pakistan.
So I didn't put two and two together. So okay, yes, of course. Zubair ji.
Yes, yes. So it's
Ji
very
ji.
nice to see you on, face to face as well. So
Likewise,
actually,
tasharraf.
my beginning is like I was a very, a regular practicing Muslim in back in I think around 2000. Then I got caught up with the communism, you know, Tehreek. Some Tehreek was movement was there in Pakistan. So I got
Okay.
caught up with the communist gang. So they
Okay.
uh, threw out some argument that the Islam is like nothing, there is no God or something like that. Then I went back to our Maulana Sahib in the
Mhm.
masjid, and he said that I have done falsafa and all these things. When I asked this question that I want to convert these guys into Muslims, so this Maulana Sahib said that I am coming back. He is going for the prayers. So the friends who took me to the Maulana Sahib, they told my friend that this guy is Wajibul Qatl. Done.
What?
So this guy is
Oh,
Wajibul Qatl. That you should kill this guy. He's a menace for the society. So after that, I left Islam, everything. I became an atheist. But still,
mm,
something is inside me, like, it was telling me that this pattern in the nature, like, we eat apples from the tree, it comes again. So there is a intelligence behind it. So I think I became agnostic, and after that, and I found yourself in some way. I was on my journey. It coincided, and you have transformed my journey in a different way.
no,
Now I am. I think you
the
are
souls
taking us.
are connected.
Yes,
ये
yes. So
रूहों का एक इत्तिसाल है आपस में.
जी, 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 बिल्कुल. So you are taking our souls on that level as well. So I just wanted to discuss, something yesterday happened to me. Like,
Sure.
you know, when actually I am being transferred from my side project to the head office. So I spent there 3 years almost. So
Okay.
yesterday I received a call from the head office that MD wants to see. So when I sat in the car and started the car, my heart started, heartbeat like a upbeat, like something like worrisome or something like that. घबराहट सी
Mm.
हुई इस तरह. So
See.
I was thinking that why this my heart is like doing this, because whenever you are meeting some higher person or some interview, so your heart will start beating, right? So that was the thing. But I realized that I am seeing it from outside, that this head is making this heart to beat, that something worse is going to happen. So that was one thing. But in the evening, and I clearly see that this is only the body matter. This head is having some data and analyzing, and expecting some threat or danger, and this making this heart beat harder, that something going wrong is going to happen. But in the evening, as I was leaving the colleague for the last time, I saw that there was a sadness in my soul while leaving. It was not bodily thing. So I'm just wondering, this, emotion, even our souls are prone to emotions, or only the bodily thing. So what are your thoughts about? I don't know if I could make myself clear or not.
Right. Okay. I when you say the souls are prone to emotion, I'm I'm not so sure if emotion, for example, is the better word, but that they do you mean in the sense that they sometimes we find ourselves driven by almost the soul, or we find it yearning, that it has a like an anxiousness to it, like that, in that
You see,
sense.
if you feel angry, like if you see someone doing something, you are feeling angry. This anger
Mm,
is purely your bodily thing, because you are
mm,
tuned something in your head that this thing is wrong.
yeah,
So you are
yeah.
getting angry because it is against your brain. But
Hmm.
when you are connected at soul level and you are departing from that soul level, it is not something which is is in your head. It is your soul which is being
Yeah,
departed
yeah,
from
yeah.
your loved one.
Mm,
So
mm, mm.
that is something. I think this question is real deep, but I'm not able
No,
to
I believe that. Look, we connect with certain people
hmm,
at our with our souls. I mean, the very popular hadith that al arwah junudun mujannada, that the souls are kind of banded together in certain ways, that ma ta'arafa minha talafat, those that and they come to know. Now it doesn't explain how they come to know, but those that come to know harmonize. Now there's some discussions by certain people today. You've got certain scientists, certain leading kind of mathematicians and thinkers of the world, like Sir Roger Penrose and other people as well. There's Stuart Hameroff. They have some very interesting discussions on, you see, consciousness, which I believe is a synonym. It's of the ruh, of the soul. Now, they argue that could it be that certain bonds that we create are through entanglement at a
hmm,
quantum level? So when you are very close to someone, something has connected. Now, how does it connect? Now, one suggestion has been it's connected through either physical or through the eyes, that there's something that connects. Now, you see family members, for example, or people who are very close to each other. There's several studies on, they just know when something's happening. Like they don't know what's happening. So, for example, something tragic has happened, and the
hmm,
mother gets this anxiety all of a sudden, and she
hmm,
doesn't know what's happened, but she feels something's wrong, and she'll
hmm,
find her children, and something would have happened. This kind of stuff, there's several studies, there's actually scientific studies done on this, where they're trying to they can't fully explain it, but the phenomenon exists. So they
hmm,
see that there is this kind of bond. They don't know how the bond is made, but they know that this is happening. I've shared on a few occasions the anecdotes of this one case where this brother who commits suicide, and the day that his brother commits suicide, the other brother, who's under kind of 24-hour supervision, in
hmm,
a psychiatric kind of unit, um, who's always very calm and very very friendly, and does not have, completely out of character on that day, gets up, and he kind of has this and he breaks the mirror. He kind of hits this mirror and breaks it, and he's kind of frustrated, and he doesn't know that his brother's killed himself, but he only comes to find out later on, like weeks later, that, oh, his brother had committed suicide, and the nurses are quite amused at like they can't understand that it's that date that he acted out of character, and he has this whole but there's so many stories like this where people feel this angst, they feel a and this is a we would, in faith terms, we would say that is the connection of the arwah, that the ruh are connected. Now, in a more, let's say, we can use the word consciousness as well, that consciousness is connected. But yeah, I definitely, this is undeniable. Just because we can't fully explain it yet doesn't
hmm.
mean that we all feel it. We all feel it. It's impossible to deny that we don't feel that we have a bond with certain people.
Yes, yes. Actually,
Yeah.
I felt both things. In the morning, I felt this, the uneasiness of the mind, which was created by the mind with the prior memories. But in the evening, felt the soul level departing, or some sadness in my soul. I could, because I somehow I can see my things. If I'm angry, I can get out of my anger and see from this view that why I am getting angry. So I can go out of my body or something just for a brief moment, not that.
Mm.
And one more
Okay.
thing, I wanted to uh, ask you about that. Not ask you, but the opinion that we are created from the Almighty in this world, and then uh, we are given a opportunity to create ourselves as well. Because
Yeah.
if I see my being that is beyond my body, if I take it out in my hand like this, I don't know. Yes. So
Yeah.
I take it out in my hand, I can see my being, how transparent it is, how how selfish, how jealous, how full of anger, full of hatred it is, or how. So I is in my control how I create my being. So it is very, I see that I am creating myself as I
Yeah.
go along in this
And
bodily life.
in many ways, we're constantly recreating ourselves right throughout our lives. And
Yes. Yes.
there's a deeper inner self, like, or there's something in there that is always, we carry forward with us almost this inner child that is still, it's there, and I guess it takes a lifetime to truly get to know even yourself. This is why know thyself is such a profound concept, and arguably it's the concept that leads you to knowing God. Man arafa nafsa arafa rabba. Whoever truly knew himself or herself knew their Lord. So it's, yeah, very profound things. So shukran, Zubairji, for sharing
And
them with us.
one last thing is that whenever I go out for a walk, or I go out for a walk, after 1 hour every evening. And previously I was going to gym as well, so I am
Okay.
always struggling with my weight. So I'm just thinking that whenever I am in physical activity intense, I get this metaphysical thoughts or downloads that's of profound nature. So what are your thoughts about it? When we are
No,
engaging in
absolutely.
gym or
No,
something,
absolutely. Yeah,
there is
because this is,
otherwise we don't get it.
no, because absolutely, because these are called peak states. Some people call them
Hmm.
a state of flow. That, you see, the way consciousness works, you don't, you see that there's so many, because there's layers to it. There's layers of awareness, sensation, perception, but you get into such a, like, a maqam, that you enter a state of, some people call, like Maslow, the person Maslow's hierarchy, you would call them peak states. Some people call them a state of flow. People in sport do it today. They enter this state of flow, like they're not even, and if they were to try to become conscious, it would ruin it. And this is why people like Dr. Rupert Sheldrake, they state that sports today are akin to some sports, or playing them in a certain way is akin to kind of secular worship, because it takes people into these kind of peak states that they can't normally get into, this altered state of consciousness. Almost, it is an altered state of consciousness. So you're right, 100%. When you're in that moment and you go into this state, and this, it's like how people, like they say in Urdu, Ahmed aa rahi hai phir.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
a
yeah.
there's
Ahmed,
this
Ahmed
sense of, you
Hosseini.
start getting this Ahmed hoti hai, and there's
Hmm.
this incoming thing, and this is it. It's a state of flow, and you get, your thought becomes HD. It becomes so high resolution. You become like, you're proper, like, connected in that moment. It is no short of a spiritual state, even though
Yes.
the action you're doing may not be so-called spiritual. You might just be doing sports or running, or you might be doing but the experience is a spiritual experience.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
so it
And
is
this
definitely, yeah.
this guy David Goggins. Do you know
Yes,
him?
yes, yes,
David
yeah, David
Goggins.
Hawkins. Yeah, yeah, very, very, very
He
well known. Yeah.
he has he's saying that we are not utilizing our full potential because he has
Mm.
gone through some struggles. And last thing, I just want you to have Mr. Bernardo Kastrup on your show. He's from Netherlands, and he has a good theory that we are living inside the mind of the God. So he has like, so if
Okay.
you
I
know
mean,
him, then
okay,
hmm,
what? Send me his details and ask him. If you know him, if you can ask him if he's interested, and then send me the details on Instagram, and I will, inshallah, reach out and connect with him.
hmm.
But
Okay,
okay, I
okay.
appreciate it, Zubairji. Shukran, much love for that. May Allah bless your journey, and Bless your
Ameen.
day. Ameen. Salaam alaikum.